Clive Barker Podcast Audio Commentaries.
Thanks to your generous donations to our Kickstarter funding campaign,
Clive Barker Podcast presents Fundraiser 9.
Celebrations!
Welcome. This is episode number 350. It should be some kind of that's kind of a cool marker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good morning, Jose.
Hi, Ryan. How you doing?
Good. I stayed up late watching Rosemary's Baby again in preparation for this episode. And for those of you who are new to the podcast, you might be wondering, why are you guys covering Rosemary's Baby? We are doing a series going through Clive Barker's recommendations in Clive Barker's A to Z of Horror. And we are on the letter U for Unborn, and one of the movies that's featured in that book, in that chapter, is Rosemary's Baby, the 1968 Roman Polanski film.
It's a recommendation by Clive Barker himself.
Yeah. So he wasn't involved in this movie at all. Of course, he was a kid, when this movie came out. But
yeah, he must have been a 16-year-old.
Yeah. Still, it's a cool movie. I'm glad to be able to watch it with you. We did discuss it when we went through all the chapters of Clive Barker's A to Z of Horror.
That's right.
We talked about this book, and I actually went back to look at my old notes. And the only note that I wrote was cool dream sequences. So I'm gonna, we'll just start over, I guess.
Cool, demonic, violating dream sequences.
Yeah.
So it's a psychological horror film from 1968. It was written and directed by Roman Polanski. It's got Mia Farrow, John Cassavetes, among others.
And a bunch of old people who are probably not alive anymore.
Yep, that's true.
Yeah.
And William Castle, who we also talked about when we were doing episodes and discussing the A through Z of horror. Of course, he was the guy who was a big film producer, and he made some schlocky films where he would have smoke in the theater and chairs that would shake and stuff like that. So at one point, he optioned this book from IR11.
Oh.
And that's when the whole idea to make this movie started.
Imagine how different it would have been.
Yeah, at one point, I think he didn't want Roman Polanski to make the movie. He wanted to direct it himself. That would have been very, very different.
Yeah. One thing I wanted to say really quick, this isn't related to this episode, but I wanted to say a quick thanks to Phil and Sarah Stokes, because if you go on to our Clive Barker Cast listeners group on Facebook, they replied to something we talked about in our last episode.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
They said, happy to let you know, Ryan, that Pigeon and Teresa is definitely set for inclusion with the short stories. And then I said, will the book still be called Fear Eternal? And they said, that's the plan at present. Yes. So cool. That's another cool reason to join our group. If you're a listener and you're listening to this, then you qualify. So come on in. It's a small group. We're just keeping it to listeners. And I actually had kind of a debate with somebody that asked to come in because it was a Clive Barker group. And I said, well, do you listen to the podcast? He goes, well, no, but maybe if I get into the group, maybe he'll convince me to listen to the podcast. I'm like, that's a slippery slope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give us a listen. I mean, if you don't like it, that's fine. You get a lot more content listening to our podcast than you would do getting into that group. Yeah. To be honest.
Yeah, we don't have memes.
That's right.
Taking up 80% of the. Not that we have those in the listeners group. We don't. But other Clive Barker groups have a lot of memes.
All the juicy discussion happens right here on audio.
I thought that was pretty cool. I mean, we could have saved it for a news episode, and maybe we'll still put it in there in a news episode. But I was too excited. I had to say that. So thanks, Phil and Sarah.
Yeah, thanks, guys. It's great to know that you guys listen.
Yeah, that was neat. Also, I don't know if they'll listen to an episode about Rosemary's Baby. I guess we'll find out. But at least definitely the news episodes.
Mm-hmm. So this is a Paramount movie.
Yeah.
And if you have, I don't know which version you guys are watching as you play this, if it's the Criterion Collection, if it's on a streaming platform, usually we pause at the movie studio logo. So this time we're paused at the Paramount logo.
Yeah. Which is right when that like tinking piano sound starts.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what we do on these audio commentaries is everybody kind of pauses and we sync up, and then we do a countdown and we all play together. And that way, if you choose to watch it with us, then we're all kind of in sync. You don't have to, though. You can just listen if you want to.
Sure. We try to bring a lot of interesting trivia and information to the discussion. Sometimes we go off on a little tangent or two, but it's just a fun way of watching the movie with a couple of buddies like us.
Yeah. All right. So I am right before the Paramount logo. Do you want to do the countdown? I think I did our last one.
Okay. On a count of three, press play. 1, 2, 3, play.
All right, there we go. I'm going to turn my captions on so it's not as loud.
That's a good idea. A William Castle production. At first, this kind of looks a little bit like a TV movie. Like, oh, is this for like daytime TV movie for bored housewives? You got the little pink,
right. Yeah.
pink lettering.
Yeah, the Hallmark.
That's right. Kind of creeps up on you.
Yeah. Oh,
so this is
I just
New
turned
York.
the captions on, and now it's saying la 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 la. Thanks, captions.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yep. So this is New York. Most of the interior shots were shot in the soundstage. Most of the outer exterior shots are in New York. Soundstage was in Los Angeles. It's production designer Richard Silber.
Yeah. This is one of those old, older style movies where most of the credits are done up front. And credits were much shorter back then.
Vidal Sassoon was Miss Farrow's hairstylist.
Oh, yeah, that's the haircut that he hated, right? That her husband hated. It's not very good advertising or product placement, I guess, huh?
She was married, Mia Farrow was married to Sinatra at the time she was doing this.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And actually, Sinatra hit her with divorce papers right in the middle of her shooting a scene.
Oh, geez. What a jerk.
I know. Because he was doing a movie called The Detective at the time. And Mia Farrow was working in both those films, I think. And so he at one point was like, it's either one or the other. It's either Rosemary's Baby or me. And she didn't want to leave the movie. So one day she was doing a scene, and Sinatra's lawyer came into the set and just said, "You're not Miss Sinatra anymore."
What a jerk.
I know.
That's it. I'm going to throw away all my Frank Sinatra CDs that I don't have.
And I think this is the Dakota building in New York. It's funny because John Cassavetes is playing an actor.
Yeah.
That he was in real life.
Yeah. He was in Luther and Nobody Loves an Albatross.
Yeah. And he was also a film director and screenwriter.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. He plays a pretty convincing creep. So this landlord dude in the elevator with him, you have to wonder, like, how could he be so clueless about what's going on in his own building?
That's the thing, right? I mean, I'm not sure if he was clueless or if he was also in on the whole conspiracy thing.
I don't think he shows up at the end there. I don't remember. We'll look and see. But there's kind of a clue here in when he's showing the apartment, and there's that big dresser thing he calls the secretary, and he's like, "Why is it blocking the closet? And help me out here." So I think, I think he would know if he was in on the.
And it's like the building is beautiful, but at the same time, you see some of the paint is peeling off the walls in the hallway. There's like a hole on the floor, not a hole, but like the flooring is missing in a patch.
Yeah, they want to show that it's kind of a little old and decrepit, and there are. It's like when you just inherited a haunted a house, and but it turns out to be haunted.
Yeah, it is weird to check the house you're about to buy and move in when it's still full of the other person's stuff and they died.
The dead person, yeah.
It just looks so cluttered.
There's like correspondence there and dead plants.
Yeah, it just looks so cluttered.
Yeah.
No marijuana.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, toilet flushes. That's good.
Right. It is for New York, though. This is a huge apartment, isn't it? It seems that way.
Yeah, it does seem that way. Even though this was probably in a studio.
Yeah.
But it looks so lived in, right? I mean, for a stage, it looks absolutely lived in.
Yeah, it does. I remember New York people talking about Friends and how the cost of that apartment would have been astronomical.
Oh, there's the closet.
Yeah. Yeah, this kind of makes me think he doesn't know what's going on in his building.
Mm-hmm.
Like the whole building, except for him, seem like they're all part of this conspiracy.
It makes you wonder if the lady that used to live here, if she was like a witch.
Yeah, well, there was a little close-up of a letter where she said something like, "I want no more part of it," or something like that. So the subtext that I get from all of this is she pushed that thing in front of the closet because she didn't want them, she was breaking it off with them, and then she mysteriously died.
Right.
Because you can't.
That's definitely what it was.
Even though she's really old, so nobody thinks much of it that she died, but it probably wasn't natural causes.
Sure thing, yeah. There was a sequel to Rosemary's Baby called Son of Rosemary. I'm not joking.
Oh, really?
Ira 11, yeah.
Oh, my God, I should have watched that.
Well, it's a book.
Oh, okay.
By the same author, yeah.
Yeah. Right, yeah, how does he get around in society looking like that?
Yeah. So the Son of Rosemary was written by Ira 11, and it came out in 1999.
Oh,
so
wow.
there's
a long time
actually
later.
Came out in 2010, but it takes place in 1999. So 33 years ago, Rosemary gave birth to the devil's child while under the control of a satanic cult of witches. Now the year is 1999, and humanity dreads the approaching 21st century. In New York City, Rosemary's son, Andy, is believed to be that savior. But is he the force of good his followers accept him to be? Or is he his father's son?
Wait,
Rosemary
what?
and Andy will be reunited in a battle of wills that shall decide the fate of humanity.
Andy?
So, that's the name of the baby that we see at the end of this movie.
Well, I remember she kept saying that she wanted him to be called Andy or like Susan or whatever. Or Susie. But they said his name was Adrian.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's just a short. I don't know what. I didn't read the book, so I don't know what adaptations they did.
I mean, after this movie was over, she could have said, "You know what? I don't care what you say. He's my son. His name is Andy."
Sure. It looks like they kept most of the stuff. Is this in that guy's house or their apartment?
I was wondering that too.
I think it's this guy's apartment.
Yeah, maybe so. Yeah, because he was the one cooking. Yeah. Yeah, I wonder if we don't really ever see them in their original apartment before they move.
This guy is the voice of wisdom here.
I know, and they don't listen to him, and then he dies. Yeah, and that's one thing that, I forget the husband's name. What is his name? Do you remember?
Yeah. His name is. Give me a moment here. Shoot.
Yeah.
Guy.
Guy. There we go. Yeah.
The guy, the most generic name.
Yeah. So the thing about it's like he seems like going from a regular, I hate to say guy, but he goes from like being a regular person to just having absolutely no conscience at all. I mean,
yeah, he kind of makes a deal with the devil, so to speak, right?
Yeah.
For his career to pick up. He starts understanding that if he does some sacrifices, that his career will improve.
But we never see any remorse. They arranged to murder, and he participated in arranging to murder their friend, right?
Yeah.
And he's the one that stole the glove that we're going to find out later, as we get. And just to say this, we're going to spoil things because, we're hoping that you've seen this movie before you watch it with us. But just the idea that he's totally cool with every little thing that they're doing. That she seems like she's at death's door. When she's pregnant, and he's like, oh no, everything's cool. You're good. This is good. Every pregnancy's different, like the doctor says. And I don't know.
Yeah. Also, I think that Mia Farrow's character just comes off as so sheepish and meek in some of these. She's kind of bubbly, but at the same time, it's like,
yeah,
she kind of looks up to her husband and goes along with anything he says. And then when she tries to say no, then he just gets mad and resents her.
Yeah. She's the only one in this movie that has like character development, though, right? That her character, her personality changes and she grows, and she becomes stronger and takes on her. She becomes her own independent person by the end.
This is the most mechanical. Like, hey, let's make love. Okay, proceeds to take off clothes.
Yeah,
that's like, wow. Okay, a little awkward.
Yeah,
in an empty house. On the cold floor.
And this is how he is with her before their bargain,
Right, exactly, yeah.
Yeah, so it gets even worse after.
It's like, finish your meal.
Yeah, I know. It's always like that in movies. People don't finish their meals. They don't close their car doors when they get out.
There's an explanation for why people don't finish their meals in movies. It's because most times that food has been there for hours and it's cold.
Yeah, I bet.
Whenever you see someone eating in a movie, it's just an act.
Because of the multiple takes.
Right.
Hanging up wallpaper.
Oh, it's looking better. It was so cluttered at the beginning.
Yeah. In 40 years, you'll regret putting up that wallpaper.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's the Yamaha commercial. At first, I kept thinking, why are we focusing so much on this Yamaha thing? I was like, oh, her husband's in the commercial.
Oh, there he is, buying a bike.
Yeah. Because it seemed like weird, out of place, like almost like product placement at first, until we realized.
I remember in school one time I was talking about Yamaha. And some kid kind of laughed at me because I said Yamaha. I said, oh, it's just Yama. Why are you saying Yamaha? And I was like, you dum-dum. It's Japanese. Yama. Yeah.
Why did he say that?
I don't know. He just thought it was just Yama. So he thought it was funny that I said Yamaha.
Oh, wow.
I don't know. Kids are dumb.
Yeah.
It's like there's an age right there.
Yeah.
This laundry area, it looks so weird with the wire thing up, right? Am I the only one who thinks that's weird?
What wire thing? Oh, yeah. To separate the different washers and dryers.
Yeah, it's like, what's the point of that?
So I guess they're trying to say that every tenant gets their own private washer and dryer down there. So that's their way of putting up separation. But why?
No, I I don't think there would be the same number of washers and dryers as there are tenants. I think it's just, I don't know. I don't understand.
Or you're assigned to number 4 with 3 other.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Like that.
Yeah.
But
yeah, different.
It seems needless, but it gives them a place to put shelves, I guess.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, it makes it look more like a dungeon. So we get
it looks
no
like
explanation of that glass breaking. And this lady's story is only hinted at, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she tells that she was a drug addict living on the street, and they picked her up and took care of her and stuff, and they gave her this charm. So it seems like, and
I wonder if they were trying to get people to deliver the Antichrist, and she was one of the
That's
surrogates.
what I was thinking too. That she was one, and they couldn't convince her, and so they had her killed or something.
Yeah.
Because the Castavets were quick to say that she had no family, even though Rosemary, after talking to her one time, knew that she had a brother in the Navy.
Yeah. A brother in the Navy.
Yeah.
Hey, look at that Macy's classic ad in the paper.
Yeah, I wonder if they were holding up a real newspaper instead of a prop one.
Uh-huh.
Maybe in the 60s they didn't they didn't create stuff like that.
Yeah. I guess the walls are really thin because they can hear the neighbors coming through. It's just a partition. So would that mean that that apartment originally was like bigger and they just put a partition?
Yeah. I think they say it later in the movie that this used to be their dining room or something like that.
Wow, that would have been an even bigger apartment then.
Yeah.
Oh, there's chanting.
Yeah. He's like, oh, Dr. So-and-so just plays the recorder. It's not a flute or whatever.
Oh, damn. Here's where someone jumped or something.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like in the movie, it was only like, 2 minutes ago that she just met her.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So they just, she was being worked as a sacrifice, I guess.
Well, there's a lot of this movie that you have to pick up by like hearing the mumblings in the walls and stuff. And I think what I remember from last night is we'll hear the older couple, the Castavets, is that what their name is? I forget.
Yeah, the Castavets. Yep, here they come.
Well, we hear them talking about how she, we knew she wasn't going to go for it, or it's something like that. Or she wasn't open-minded.
Yeah. Damn. And just the way that Guy Woodhouse, the husband, just kind of pushes through the cops to just have a look at like the body. It's
yeah, I know. If it were now, they would have tased him for that. Back in the 60s, you could sneak onto an airplane.
Wow. So they probably like sneaked out of the building so they could have an alibi coming back in, say, oh, we went out walking or something.
Yeah, exactly.
They're just a dandy couple, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. They look like a old style couple. Right? They would have been born like in the 20s or something.
Yeah. Well, actually, he said he was born in, or they say later he was born in like 1889 or something like that.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah. So he's older.
Because this movie's so long ago.
Yeah, because this is 1968, so they look like they're in their 60s or 70s. Yeah. That makes sense. Definitely. Like, she's got a lot of makeup on.
Yeah.
She used Homer Simpson's makeup gun.
Right.
Homer, you had it on whore.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. That is something. I mean, you move into a house and then, you move into an apartment and then someone in the apartment jumps off a building.
Yeah.
Not a good sign.
Yeah, and your friend just told you all this terrible stuff happens there.
Oh, here's a first dream sequence.
Yeah.
Yeah, looking at the dream sequences, they're cool, but some of them are a little like The Nun in the Black Void and stuff. It's like, I mean, they didn't have the special effects that they could have nowadays, right?
Yeah. Well, what I love is that she's actually hearing what they're saying through the walls and she's incorporating it into her dreams. So you get little clues.
Oh, yeah, the windows, right.
Yeah, mixed in with all of it. Because she said she was all ready to go and now we have to start from scratch.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's a big
I
clue.
wonder if she killed herself because of the dreams she started having of the, of the possession thing that she realized she was going to have.
Or she started to get wind that they were just using her and they weren't just nice people.
Yeah, or maybe even the satanic influence that she was becoming under, because she had a spell necklace on, right?
Yeah, with the Tannis root.
Yep.
Or devil's fungus.
Tannis roots, Tannis leaves. I remember some movie had something about Tannis leaves.
Yeah,
I don't know.
And why does every Antichrist movie have the baby has to be called Adrian? I wonder where.
Yeah, that's a good point because the Omen, right?
Yeah, Adrian.
This is for you, Adrian.
Yeah, all for you.
I really like the Omen series as well. I mean, now that we're talking about creepy babies and Antichrist, I remember watching the Omen movies when I was a kid, and one thing that never left my mind was the priest that gets decapitated by a sliding pane of glass.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that scene is tremendous.
It is.
And Sam Neill.
And it's not, and it's a lot of it is in your imagination, but sometimes that's more powerful than
sure
than if they did a close up on it like they would have done if it was in the 80s.
It's funny because I've heard an interview with Sam Neill, and he's not crazy about the Omen movies. He doesn't think it's good work that he did, but I think they're pretty good. I think he's really creepy in those. Yeah.
I've only seen the first Omen movie. I have never seen any of the sequels.
Oh, there's 4. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was 3, and then a 4th one came a few years later than that.
It's like Psycho, too. I've been listening to Postmortem with Mick Garris, and he directed Psycho 4, and so now I'm thinking, well, if I'm going to watch that, I should probably watch 2 and 3 also.
Yeah, I think Psycho 2 is when Anthony Perkins' character comes back, and now he's not the villain, he's the hero. He's trying to help some girl from being murdered or something.
Oh, like he just got out of prison?
Yeah.
And I think 4 is a prequel, if I remember right. Yeah. But just from hearing about it, I haven't seen any of those. I've only seen the first one.
Her husband seems a little surly.
Yeah.
He lost the part.
Yep.
I think this is where it starts. Their whole world
has to revolve around him.
Yeah. I think this is the moment when he realizes, I just moved into a big apartment in a fancy building. Now the jobs aren't coming. So he's going to start thinking about how he can get more influence and more power, right?
Yeah. I wonder if those guys are Satanists and maybe I can make a bargain with them.
Hmm.
Oh, she's
It does-
measuring for the cushions right now. I
Yeah.
see. Because later she'll have the cushions in the apartment. Oh, man. Yeah, there's one time a little later when it's like, after they'd had the devil come, and impregnate her, right? And it's 9:00 in the morning and she's still asleep. And he's like bugging her. He keeps hitting her and saying, get up, get up, get up. I have to go to work. And the reason he keeps bugging her is because he wants her to make him breakfast. And she goes, why can't you just go out for breakfast? And he goes, no, come on. And he's like smacking her and stuff. Not on the face.
Yeah.
It's like, Jesus Christ, dude. I guess it's the 60s, but come on.
I know. Well, he is kind of like, he doesn't care about what she wants, right?
Yeah.
It's just all about him.
Yeah, I mean, after everything that he just put her through, and now he's like, get up and make me my breakfast. He's such a scumbag.
Yeah. He's not a perfect man by any means.
Yeah. And actually, this Roman Castevet is a more likable character than the husband. Because he's never, he doesn't really pretend like in the same way.
And, he's a Greek American, so he's kind of dark skinned and, he's got this kind of like sharp features and stuff. And it just makes him look a little more sinister as the movie goes by.
Yeah. I mean, his wife is nosy and annoying, but he's
like
kind of more
so dark and she's so fair.
Yeah.
That it's just, it's like he's like a shadow and she's like the light.
Yeah. But I think Roman is a much more interesting character than like the wife.
Brand new carpet.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Fairbanks, Alaska gets a name drop here pretty soon.
Hey, Fairbanks, Alaska.
Yeah.
Wow. Juneau, Anchorage.
I've never been to Nome or Sitka, but I've been to the other ones.
So he went everywhere, huh?
Yeah.
He's probably like a bishop of the Satanists.
Yeah, right. I mean, it kind of makes you wonder what all of this traveling was about. He heads the conventions.
Yeah.
Yeah, and here's some little hints about him, right? He's talking trash about the Pope.
It's funny because they're not Christian, but they're definitely religious. Like, they're Satanists.
He doesn't count it as religion, I guess. I suppose if you can bring up Satan in the flesh and talk to him or whatever, maybe you don't think of it as a religion.
Yeah. Yeah. Play Luther.
Yeah. And now he's just kind of starting to stick his tentacles in, right? He's starting to say, hey, if you just get the right breaks, I think your career could really take off.
Yep. That's, get him in what he's interested in.
Yeah. Yeah, and the sad thing is it's like they never even try with Rosemary. We're just going to use you.
Yeah, because they realize that the dynamic between her and her husband is like she's meek. So
yeah, if they can
she's pregnant,
control the husband, that's all they need. They don't need to ask her anything.
Yeah. So she's not pregnant just yet, right? I mean, she gets pregnant later. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. There's going to be the whole. She gets drugged by the chocolate mousse and.
Yeah. Even the way they dress Mia Farrow.
Yeah.
Makes her look younger than she is.
Yeah. Well, she's also not just meek, but I think really naive through this whole, at least through the first half of the movie.
Sure.
It's like she excuses all the stuff her husband does. Oh, well, actors are self-centered and.
mean, this was 68, so she was 23, and I think John Cassavetes was, let's see, 68. He was 39, so he's definitely older than her by almost 10 years, right?
Oh.
It's like the young wife and the guy who's almost 40.
Yeah. Who's worried that he's never going to make it as an actor.
Right.
But being in TV commercials isn't bad. She said sometimes they say TV and advertisements, and sometimes they say TV and radio.
Yeah.
But I can't
So
imagine there was radio. There were radio plays still in like 1968. Yeah. Maybe there were.
Yep. And Cassavetes was also, like I said, not just an actor but a director, and he was a big proponent of independent cinema. He made movies that he financed through his own acting work.
Oh wow.
I mean, the New Yorker suggested that he could have been the most influential American director of the last half century. I don't think I've seen a lot of movies by Cassavetes because I'm looking at the list. They're mostly he made movies from the 50s, late 50s to the mid 80s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. A Woman Under the Influence, I guess that's a big one. A woman who's confronting her blue-collar husband.
I meant to watch out for that their pictures were all down, this time, and I forgot. Because she just said, why did they take all their pictures down? Like there were little spaces on the walls where there used to be pictures hanging up. Yeah,
they're probably the little satanic things, right?
Yeah, because later you see like a city on fire, and in their a painting with a city on fire that looks like it's a painting of hell.
It's funny because this is supposed to be a brand new furnished house, but I look at it just looks old.
Yeah.
Because of the decor.
Yeah, right.
Like, look at that pillow. Oh, my God. You find that in Goodwill nowadays.
I know. Yeah, and it's funny because, like, there's one time where the old lady says, like, how much did you pay for that couch? She's like, $200. It's like, really? That looks like you got it at a yard sale from a person who died.
Right.
Yeah.
Here's the other coven witch.
Oh, God. She's the worst.
Yeah.
She's the one that wants to be the mother, at the end. Rosemary
this is so weird that your neighbor would show up at your house with a friend to show them your apartment.
Yeah. As far as violence goes, this movie is pretty tame. I mean, when she came in there with a knife, I expected her to at least like stab one person.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't believe they invited themselves in and then they just start hauling out their needlepoint or whatever. And, just make yourselves at home, I guess.
Yeah, they just started knitting.
Yeah.
It's just hanging out.
Yeah. Yeah, we peeled it off of the corpse of that lady you met in the laundry room. How do you like it?
Yeah. Isn't that that's so freaking creepy?
Yeah.
It's like they got it off of one of those coin machines.
Yeah.
They buy it by the dozen.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Tannis root, you said?
Well, they tell her it's tannis root, but then she says it's more like a fungus, or her friend says it's more like a fungus, and then he goes and looks it up, and they find out later there's a devil's fungus. So
I don't know what's funny. I just looked up tannis root, and it ends up it's a fictional herb. It doesn't exist.
Oh yeah,
yeah. And this is where they finally started talking about tannis root. It says, tannis root is a root of a fictional herb that is enclosed in a locket in the 1968 movie Rosemary's Baby.
Oh. I wonder if this is where it started then, because I've heard it in other things. Tannis root.
Yeah. And then, you know, of course, we're going to find out later that Roman Castevet, which is kind of a weird name, is really an anagram of Stephen Marcato.
Well, and so is Mandrake a real thing too, or is that also made up?
Mandrake, I think, is a real root, but it doesn't always look like a little person.
And it doesn't scream and kill you when you pull it out of the ground.
And it's not born out of like the sperm that drips off the leg of a hanging person either.
Yeah.
But you can see pictures of Mandrake roots on the internet. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It just looks like a, you know, multi-limbed root, but it doesn't necessarily look like, you know, like it's got 2 legs and 2 arms.
Right. Like
it's just that the ones they dig up that look like that end up being the ones that people take pictures of.
Yeah. A potato could end up looking like that too sometimes.
Sure. Or like a piece of ginger or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like when people find a Cheeto that looks like Jesus or something.
Right.
And then they call it Jesus.
Yeah, or a pancake.
Yeah. You remember when those things used to be on the news all the time and then they kind of stopped doing that?
Yeah.
It's I think it was kind of a fad.
Have you seen the video of the lady with the haunted toaster?
Haunted toaster? No, I saw the one that she saw Jesus in the toast.
Oh, there's one where she's got a haunted toaster and flames shoot out of it. It's like a little news story or whatever. And flames shoot out. She puts the toast in and flames shoot out, and it says like "Go to hell" on her toast or something like that. And they say, why do you keep it at the end? And she goes, well, it makes good toast.
That seems like a fire hazard.
Yeah.
So yeah, the guy that was getting the part instead of her husband went blind. So this is where the spells start, right?
Yeah.
At first they're gonna.
And the idea at first he'd be cool with that. It's just.
Well, I don't think he knows at this point why that happened. I think the way that the cult kind of insidiously kind of seduces her husband into this whole thing is that first they start by having him be successful. Then they start withholding that stuff and saying, hey, listen, we've been doing this for you. Now, if you don't do what we say, we're going to turn our power towards you and your wife.
Yeah, but that sort of takes away some of his agency in it. I mean, there was also a scene where she gets split off, like in that very first dinner party, she gets split off with, was her name Mimi or whatever? And the husband guy is sitting on the couch smoking with Roman. And so I also kind of wonder if that might have been the time when he made the proposition or whatever to him, or the proposal. I don't know. I mean, but he keeps saying he wants to keep going back and tell them things, and I gotta go over there. I'll be right back, and so he spends a lot more time with them than she does.
Yeah. Yeah, he's coming to a point where he's realizing he was a creep.
Yeah, well, and also the neighbors could have been telling him, hey, you need to be nice to her or she's going to leave you, and we need her to stay in the building with you.
Wow, he's planning everything. He's just telling her.
Yeah. Yeah. She should have known at this point, like, wait a minute, he wouldn't have been that organized or, They probably told him what days. The Roman and Mimi or whatever.
That's a cool little record player.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's fertility night.
Yeah. And they're eating red peppers and cherry tomatoes and broccoli?
Looks like it's some sort of like spread.
Yeah.
Hopefully they don't have that weird Jell-O stuff with olives in it.
Oh, God.
You remember that stuff? What was that called?
Ambrosia?
Oh, no, that's ambrosia salad. There's also something that was like made with Jell-O, but people would put in like olives and meat inside that stuff.
Oh,
it was
that
just
sounds
weird.
Terrible.
Yeah. Hey, that's a nice view from their window.
Maybe pimento loaf?
No, it had a different name. It's fine.
Okay.
I'll get to it.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Always at the wrong time.
Yeah. Yeah. But they're on top of it. Even they know not to interrupt.
Yeah, they're so nosy.
Yeah, and he said, "Are you sure you don't want to?" Guy said, "Are you sure you don't want to come in?" And they're like, "Oh no."
Yeah. Here's the chocolate mousse.
Yep. This one's for you. Don't mix them up.
So it makes you wonder, like, this isn't. So I've watched the movie, but I've watched it some time ago. But it's like, is this where she's gonna get the
Yeah.
crazy dreams?
No, well, this is where they're going to bring the devil in. Yeah.
Wow,
and
he's
so
not
they-
even tasting it. He's just sticking it in his mouth.
Yeah, because he wants her to do the same thing.
Yeah. So that makes me wonder, is he already into the whole thing
Oh,
here?
definitely. Yeah, because he
Yeah.
had to know which one to give to her and which one was for himself, or else he
Yeah.
would have gotten drugged. And now he has to convince her to eat the rest of it, which is an awkward conversation because it's just a dessert, right? If she doesn't want to eat it, what's he going to say?
He's trying to guilt trip her into eating it.
Yeah.
She's getting roofied by chocolate mousse.
Yeah. And she's supposed to be completely blacked out, when the thing happens with the devil and stuff. But since she didn't eat all of it, she sort of lucid dreams, and she's got a mix of reality and dreams, all together.
Yeah.
There's like stuff where she keeps talking about how she got bitten by a mouse, and
Wow, look at that TV. How did people live?
yeah, I had a TV like that.
I know.
My first TV that I had in my room was a black and white TV because it was cheap.
Oh, and she's feeling woozy.
I had my Atari 2600 hooked up to that.
Like, I would imagine she would realize something was wrong with that stuff.
Yeah, but since she drank, she just thinks that she's drunk.
Yeah. Oopsies.
Yeah. And he's going to reinforce that by telling her, oh, you shouldn't have had like wine and liquor.
And then I think Rob Zombie tried to do a little bit of like a homage to Rosemary's Baby, because he made that movie about, what was that called? Salem.
I never saw that one. I haven't seen any of them past like, what was that second one after House of a Thousand Corpses?
Devil's Rejects?
Yeah, I haven't seen any of his movies after that one, except for I saw the Halloween 1 and 2 that he did.
Yeah, and The Lords of Salem is about this coven of witches who's trying to bring back the Antichrist as well.
Oh.
It seems like that's always the thing with like witches and Satanism. It's like, especially when there's a coven of witches, it's like fertility, making someone be born, but make it so that they're not a pretty baby. They're going to be a monster.
Why can't they just indoctrinate somebody into their coven and then that person willingly, has the baby? Why go through all of this? It's like, I guess everybody they know is old, and so this is what they had to do.
That's actually, you're bringing up a really good point. Yeah, I wonder if it has to be someone who brings the Antichrist in innocence or something, like without knowing what's going on. Like, if it has to be someone who's not corrupted by the Satanist influence. That's what the ladies were talking about when they were knitting and embroidering. They were saying, "Oh, girls nowadays, they're healthy. They're not like us. They have proper health care, vitamins."
Yeah.
I don't know if that was meant to have
Yeah,
something
maybe.
there. But
There's a lot
this
of
is a little creepy.
There's a lot of little throwaway lines from Mimi that are like actually she's saying making important hints about the plot.
Mm-hmm. Hey, boobies.
Yeah.
And the fact that they take away the sound just makes it a little more dreamlike.
Yeah.
Catholics only.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's an interesting one too, right? Because Hutch is next on the list.
Yep.
Taking off the wedding ring, so that makes you think like, is she becoming a bride of Satan? Did they take her ring off in real life?
Yeah.
Maybe they did.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's a golden ring. It's a symbol of a sacrament, right? A matrimony.
Yeah.
So it's a holy thing.
And
for Catholics, at least.
And this her dreams, you hear every once in a while, you hear the people that are actually talking around her, while you're also hearing the made up stuff from her dream, and it's all kind of mixed together. Right? He just said, "Easy, easy, you got her too high." Right? That was a real thing, and now this stuff. It's interesting, like all the symbolism that she's in a storm on a boat at sea in a storm, and
yeah,
it's like she's going into a crazy world that she's lost control of her life.
Yeah, and she's going down below.
Yeah,
and you see the fire.
Yeah, yeah, and so maybe there's a little bit of the devil influencing her dreams.
Yeah. It's so weird, this scene here. It just makes you feel so vulnerable.
Yeah. The Adrian Castevet's right was standing right there. I didn't realize that before. That's the father that's dead. Oh, you know what? This is the same chant that they heard through the walls. So I wonder if they already did this with that one lady. And then once she figured out what was going on, then she jumped out the window.
When she gave her the moose, she said, she calls it the mouse. And now she says after she ate the mouse, she's like dead. She can't see anything.
Oh, that's why she says she was bitten by a mouse in her dream.
Right. Don't change the program on my account.
Yeah. Up on deck, so that that idea that she's still in the.
And her husband kind of looks weird and deformed here. Oh, there's the hand of the devil.
Right, because it's not really her husband. So is the devil possessing her husband? He must be, because the devil wouldn't wear a wristwatch, right?
Well, that's the thing, right? I mean, you can't take this scene literally, so who knows?
Well, I think you can. I think that's really what's happening. That the devil is there.
Yeah.
And she even says, this is no dream.
It could be. It could be that her husband got possessed and he doesn't even realize it.
Or it could be that she first thought it was her husband, but it actually, the devil was there instead and he was standing in the back.
I think it's cooler to imagine though that the demon actually came. And
Yeah.
Could you believe that in not too long ago, popes used to have that three ring crown?
Yeah.
That looks so weird. They don't use that anymore.
Right.
Oh, this is the part where it's like, go make me breakfast.
Yeah. He's
Smacking her.
Well, yeah, she says eat out, and he goes, like hell I will. What a jerk. Go make your own stupid toast. How hard is it to make toast?
Oh man, I just went to Waffle House this morning.
Yeah.
We're not sponsored by Waffle House.
Why?
But I had
is that a chain? I've never been to a Waffle House.
Oh really? Okay. Yeah, it's a chain. Oh, she's got scratches all over herself.
I know IHOP, but we don't have one of those here.
Oh. Damn.
Yeah, I know. Trying to just sort of
It was fun in necrophile sort of way.
yeah.
Ugh.
He's just trying to laugh it off.
This is super creepy.
Yeah.
Like, dude.
Yeah, she's got real scratches from the devil.
Yeah. Marital rape.
Yeah. Hong Kong.
It says here in the book A through Z of Horror, in Levin's novel, the lovemaking between Rosemary and her husband Guy, sanctioned by God in their marriage, becomes a channel for the devil to plant his satanic seed.
Oh, okay. So he was possessed by the devil.
Mm-hmm.
So then that also makes you kind of wonder if his personality's been changed by this whole thing, if he's been influenced, by the devil since they first met these guys.
Sure, yeah.
I don't know, or is he just a self-centered jerk? Because he doesn't bat an eye or care that, when their friend gets murdered or that, and he just pretends to care when the actor, gets blinded.
Right. I mean, he's not a good husband. He's not a good person.
No, he's
like
not.
He himself admitted that he was hoping that the other actor that was going to get the part, he was keeping tabs on whether or not his vision was coming back, and he hoped that it didn't. He's like, rat that I was thinking about that. So sorry. So yeah, he's not. He's a jerk, like you said.
Yeah.
He's self-centered, selfish, and doesn't really care about his wife.
Yeah, I mean, in this scene, she's sort of orbiting around him like he's the sun.
Mm-hmm.
And some of this is, the time that the movie was made, but it's also an interesting premise that this whole about a woman's bodily autonomy, which is really big in the United States right now, right?
Yeah.
And this idea that, her uterus is not for her, it's for somebody else to use. And in fact, it was interesting reading the Apple's iTunes description of the movie when I downloaded this. Mm-hmm. It says, pregnancy is difficult, especially if you're the focal point of an occult ritual. Rosemary's Baby follows the trials of Rosemary Woodhouse, Mia Farrow, a young wife whose desire to start a family goes horribly wrong. Her husband, Guy, John Cassavetes, joins an occult group using his wife's uterus as a bargaining chip in a deal to advance his acting career. Guy and Rosemary move into a new apartment building inhabited primarily with elderly people. Shortly afterward, strange things begin happening. A young woman who had been living with the Woodhouses neighbors leaps to her death. Rosemary hears chants late at night as Guy makes a name for himself on stage and screen. Rosemary's pregnancy drains her physically, leaving her frail and in excruciating pain. Despite the reassurance of her doctor, Rosemary grows uneasy about her pregnancy and is suspicious of her husband's and neighbors' activities. Like, geez, give away the whole movie with that. But that line about, using the uterus as a bargaining chip kind of struck home as like, things that are going on today.
Yep, that's what it is. Yes. Oh, yeah. I mean, I get what you mean. Absolutely. Yeah.
That she has no control over her life or even her body in this movie, not until she takes control right at the very end, and we don't know the result of all that. I guess we do if you read that book you were talking about earlier.
Didn't Clive have a project that he was working on at one time? It was going to be called Unborn.
Yeah, right. I think maybe a TV series or made for cable.
Yeah, I wonder what that was about. I could look it up.
Yeah.
Because that's thematically kind of connects with this, I guess.
Yeah. Man, she puts up with a lot from him.
Yep. Unborn, let's see. I know there was something. Oh, okay. It was supposed to be Clive Barker and Guillermo del Toro.
Oh.
This was reported in 2007. Said Clive Barker and Guillermo del Toro are getting ready to explore the dark side of claymation. The duo will be co-producing Born, a film adaptation of Barker's story about a family who gets more than they bargained for when they move to the English countryside.
Wait, what?
Wait.
What story?
Is that like Rawhead Rex? I don't know. It says here, Dan Simpson, who adapted the source material, is directing. Jennifer Connelly and Paul Bettany have signed on to star. Of course,
God.
this was 15 years ago. That never happened. Yeah, so it says here, a young couple, a quaint English village, a deadly secret. This is the world of Born. Combining elements of The Sixth Sense, The Wicker Man, Rosemary's Baby, and Straw Dogs, Born tells the story of a couple who thought they had found the perfect place to start a family and pursue their professional dreams, only to find themselves caught in a terrifying supernatural plot. That sounds just like this movie.
Yeah, Straw Dogs was like a home invasion movie, right?
Yeah. Joe and Vanessa thought they had everything. They've settled in an idyllic English town that will be perfect for both raising their unborn child and for Joe to build his dream claymation workshop. From the local hospitality to the rich red molding clay found in the town quarry, it would seem they've settled in paradise. But something isn't quite right. The locals are almost too friendly, and while using the clay, Joe begins to have eerie visions of a young girl's murder. Gradually, the story being told in this animation foreshadows the fate of Joe and Vanessa, leading Born to a terrifying conclusion that will shock audiences, leaving them breathless. That's all we know.
When we did the movies that were never made, we mentioned Born, but I don't think we ever actually went into that much detail like you just did about it.
Yeah, I just Googled it up while we were watching this, so I'm glad I found it.
It's amazing. Did it lead you to something from Phil and Sarah's site?
No, this is actually on... Where did I find this? I just Googled it. Hang on. That was actually a Rotten Tomatoes editorial article.
I didn't know they did those.
I'll copy that. Yeah, 2007. I'll copy that and put it in here.
Oh, in our show notes?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll fix this up later. In post. Oh, she's like thinking of names for the baby.
Susie or Andy?
Yeah. Satan lives. God is dead.
Yeah.
There's a making of Roman Polanski on Rosemary's Baby in the Criterion Collection. It's called Conversations Inside the Criterion Collection.
Oh.
So I'll also put this on the show notes, and I'll fix this later.
There was an extra with Apple TV, stuff too, but I didn't watch it. I mean, it was like 12:30 by the time I was done with watching this movie again last night. And I got tired because I had to get up for 7:30 this morning.
This looks like a really old-style doctor. Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah,
Looks
this
like
idea
ranch.
that a drink could have more vitamins in it than a pill is kind of like, eh.
Tannis root. He's trying to practice for his movie.
Yeah, here's her Fidel Sassoon haircut.
Oh, wow. There you go.
Yeah.
Yikes. Dr. Saperstein.
Saperstein always just says, like, it'll go away in a couple days.
Yeah.
Yeah. How dare you read books? That's like the,
Yes.
that's like the I diagnosed myself with WebMD thing that makes doctors mad.
Oh, I got a brain tumor. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the reason also why he doesn't want her reading books is because this is not a natural pregnancy.
No.
So
Oh, yeah.
he doesn't want her to understand that what she's feeling is not normal.
And he totally lays that out. He says, like, and don't talk to your friends either who have had babies because every pregnancy is different. But then when she finally does, later on, she has a party with her friends, and they're like, oh my God, that's not normal. You need to go see a different doctor. And that's when she starts rebelling. You know, it's funny just going to a doctor is rebelling, but it is in this movie.
Such a old style nightgown.
Yeah.
Like he's just beating her up over the haircut.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I get some nice juicy steak.
Yeah. And this is another
She's
thing.
not even putting salt or pepper on it.
This is another like little subtle thing that happens throughout this movie. Over time, the meat that she eats gets rawer and rawer, and after a while, she stops bothering to cook it.
Ugh, yeah, that's weird. It's weird that for a really rare steak, that one doesn't look juicy at all. There's no fluids coming out of it.
No. Yeah, because probably she didn't, in real life, she didn't want to eat a super rare steak.
Yeah. Yeah, they put eye makeup on her to make her eyes look sunken, and she's much paler.
Yeah. Yeah, and she's pregnant, and she lost a whole bunch of weight. So, she's like, her stomach's sticking out, but the rest of her is all like getting drained by this demon baby. Antichrist.
Hutch.
Yeah. I guess she shouldn't have had Hutch come over. She should have gone over to him.
Yeah.
But how could she have known that they were going to plot to murder him?
Well, 3 pounds is not a lot. Yeah. It's not normal.
Right. So when she says she's lost 3 pounds, and he says, no, you've lost a lot more than that, it makes you think, oh, Saperstein must be lying to her even about her weight loss.
Yeah, you can see her legs, like, they look so skinny and stick-like.
Yeah.
Her knees are, like, super big.
Oh, yeah.
Like the super nosy Steve Marcato.
Yeah.
I think they spend their day with a glass to the partition just trying to listen what they're doing.
Yeah.
Oh, she sees an earring hole in his ear.
Yep. Oh, it's a guy with earrings. That's a Satanist.
Yeah, I know, right? I mean, if he's been around so many places in the world, he's kind of like, wouldn't be too exotic for him to have a earring.
Yeah.
Oh, the potion. There's nothing to be suspicious about vitamin pills.
Yeah.
It's great that another reason why I think that the lady that owned that house was, of course, a witch, not just the fact that she lived right next door to these guys, but she also had a herbarium.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. That was.
Yeah.
I kind of got the idea that she was growing the herbs for the neighbors and getting sort of drawn into this cult, and then she had second thoughts about it.
Mold. The devil's fungus.
Yeah.
Oh, I collect that from between my toes. It's organic. Yeah. They were also fond of the lady that jumped out of their window.
Yeah. Yeah, he says don't bother because he's going over to get his glove out of the closet.
Yeah, this is where she's really opening up to how she distrusts the Castevets a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's kind of devastating. This is the one friend who would believe her, and they take him out like midway through the movie. Oh, this might be the moment where he's stealing the glove.
So they can do like a voodoo thing on him?
Yeah, exactly. That's so weird. He dumps out a whole like carton of cigarettes on the counter.
Paul Malls.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is, Cassavetes was a big smoker. I guess in these days, a lot of people would smoke, even if they have a pregnant woman standing right next to them.
And smoke indoors, which is like almost unheard of now, at least in the United States.
And this movie was also produced in that Conversations in the Criterion Collection. They also interview Robert Evans, who was one of the producers of this movie.
Oh.
This movie kind of made him like a famous producer.
Oh.
He also produced Man of a Thousand Faces, The Cotton Club. He went to jail in the 80s for cocaine trafficking, Robert Evans. Yeah.
That's such a weird insult. He's a professional crepe hanger. What is that supposed to mean?
Maybe he's a decorator or something?
But crepes? He didn't. He said crepe hanger.
Like crepe paper, maybe? I don't know.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, I was
Or-
thinking crepes like the pancakes.
Which brings me back to the Waffle House this morning. Ah, so good.
Go. Yeah, our
Hey,
favorite
remember when
breakfast
phones had
restaurant just
gigantic-
went out of business.
Oh, no. Which one was it?
It was called Sam's Sourdough Cafe.
Oh, that sounds good.
They made.
I'm going to guess
sourdough
they had
pancakes.
sourdough. Sourdough pancakes?
Sourdough pancakes are a big thing in Alaska.
Oh,
It's kind
that
of
must
like
be nice.
that and like reindeer sausage are big things that that a lot of restaurants have.
They're sweet, though, right? The pancakes?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You remember when phones had long cords like
Oh,
that?
Yeah.
It looks
you
like
can
he's
drag
carrying
them
it
around.
halfway around the apartment.
Well, he unplugged it and plugged it in by the bed, though.
Oh, that's what he did. Right.
So I don't know how he kept him on the line while he did that.
Right. Doesn't matter. It's a movie.
Yeah. He's like, "Why are you being lazied around in bed? Get up and make me a sandwich."
Yeah. At least now he's going to grab some ice cream.
Yeah, but he's actually going over to talk to the Castavets or whatever and say, "Hey, you need to kill this guy. Here's his glove." Or kill Hutch. Here's his glove.
He's just doing this. He's falling into this whole thing so matter of factly. It's really amazing.
Yeah, and the way he can, he doesn't ever seem to have any guilt about it.
Yeah.
Not even hints of that.
Yeah, and she doesn't really want to drink that stuff anymore.
No.
But the lady is like, "Yeah, well, you'll just drink it later." Like, damn, she's got so much like dark shadow around her eyes. She looks like a skull.
Yeah.
It's like she's bruised.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is not normal, lady.
Yeah.
I've never been a fan of like big cities like New York that have those really tall buildings around you.
Oh, yeah.
It just makes it feel so claustrophobic. Every time I've been in a city downtown with like tall buildings like that, it's just, you just look up and you're like, ugh. It's just, everything's looming down on you.
Yeah.
But I guess New Yorkers like it.
We don't really have buildings bigger than like 5 stories.
Sure. She went to see Hutch at his office building?
No, he had made an appointment to meet with her. He'd called her and said, "Hey, I can't talk to you about this on the phone. I want to meet with you. Let's meet out in front of that building." And then she never showed up, so he's calling to figure out what happened.
He had probably figured out what Tannis route was or something.
Exactly, yeah. And now he's slipped into a coma.
The Satanists are not that subtle, right? Even though this stuff is like, he was old.
Yeah.
Or like the other girl, she was a drug addict that was rehabilitated.
Yeah.
And, maybe she was depressed.
No, you're right. They're not subtle. I mean, why would an actor just wake up blind?
Yeah.
That's like, kind of makes you wonder. I mean, in Rosemary's going to figure it out.
It makes him look very ruthless, too.
Yeah.
Like every time someone has a little bit of interference, boom, dead. Oh my gosh, she's stalking her. She's like, just get away from me, woman.
Yeah, what do you say? What do you say?
Yeah. Oh, wow. She has a whistle for taxi calling.
Yeah, and it's on a ripcord on her jacket.
Yeah. Like she's watching something weird. Is that like some variety show? At first I thought it was the
Yeah.
Muppet Show.
Some kind of weird dance number.
Yeah. Oh, it's New Year's Eve, right?
Yeah, he really just poo-poos every single, issue that she has. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. There's the guy who made the chain for her charm.
Yeah.
And that dude is like German. Representing the Germany Satanists.
Yeah.
The year one. That's not foreshadowing at all.
Right.
Oh, she's eating raw liver now.
Ugh. Gross. That's probably Jell-O, but still.
Yeah. I've seen people hear the recommendation that eating liver would help you with your blood if you're anemic, but I don't know how true that is and how much of a myth it is.
They told when my mom my mom was pregnant with me, my dad told her she needed to eat an entire cow's liver, because it was some kind of recommendation.
Wow.
So she did. It took a while, but she ate all of it. Man, I hate liver
cooked?
so much. Yeah, it wasn't raw.
Yeah.
But
I remember my parents making liver every once in a while. Not often, but every once in a while.
yeah.
Liver and onions.
Yep, I hated it so much.
Yeah.
Well, liver is in reality, it's full of cholesterol, and the liver is the organ that stores all of the poison in your body.
That's a good point.
And it tastes terrible.
It does taste terrible. It tastes very bitter.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, so there's this little subplot where she says that her husband's been wearing pajamas all the time, like he used to sleep naked, and now he's always wearing pajamas, because she thinks he's covering up a mark of the beast somewhere. And later on, she asks him to show his shoulders, and he does it, and there's nothing there. And she lets it go. And so we never find out. He must be marked somewhere, and it's just not on his shoulder.
I think you bring up a good point. And I think that's true. Yeah. Oh my God, she's looking worse and worse.
Yeah. Looking like Skeletor.
Yeah. I wonder if she did lose weight or if it was all,
I was looking at that when the movie started. She's just a really, really thin person to begin with.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, her cheekbones are so pronounced, and they're probably emphasizing it with makeup and stuff.
Mia Farrow weighed 99 pounds when shooting began on the film. Roman Polanski told her to lose weight for the pregnancy pain scenes, and she did it.
Oh, God.
Damn. And I know that they shot some of the first scenes for this. I think the first scene is when she goes into like a phone booth to talk to someone, and then she thinks Dr. Saperstein is outside the phone booth, but it ends up it's just some other guy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So that was the first scene she shot for the movie.
Oh.
You get that from that video about the making of the film. Yeah, all her friends are like, you look like a piece of chalk.
Yeah. You look terrible.
So, wow, 99 pounds. That's very skinny. Thanks for the understatement.
Yeah.
At least she started throwing away that weird drink.
Yeah, well, and it's interesting. It's soon after that she stopped drinking the drink, then the stomach pains were going away.
Yeah, isn't that like counterproductive to like her pregnancy? I mean, it feels like she was just getting sick, and if she gets sick,
Yeah,
the baby's not going to grow well.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff you have to kind of put together yourself in this movie, which is interesting, and you don't see that in movies. But it made me think that maybe this drink with the tannis root was like feeding evil to the baby, or I don't know.
Yeah, or like depressing her body to like make it not reject the evil baby or something like that.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely don't care about her welfare. They only care about the baby.
They made a TV show about Rosemary's Baby with Zoe Saldana not too long ago.
Oh, that's right.
I never saw it though, so I don't know how that even looks.
I bet I could find it on iTunes or Amazon Prime or something. But I always hate when you when you have to rent or buy a TV show, they make you pay for every episode, and it ends up being like $70 or $100 by the time you've watched it.
Yeah. She's finally breaking down.
So it's been like 3 months she's been in pain.
Yeah. Yeah. The baby's got claws.
Yeah. Oh, I wonder if that's what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, so William Castle originally wanted to direct it. Like I said, he optioned it. The guy who made The Tingler and House on Haunted Hill. But then Robert Evans, the producer, insisted that Castle only work on the film as a producer.
Oh.
And then they got Roman Polanski. And this was Roman Polanski's debut film.
Makes you wonder what kind of theatrical gimmicks that William Castle would have put into the Rosemary's Baby.
Have a little person walk around under the seats grabbing people's hands dressed as a baby.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just terrible.
Wow.
Ira Levin also made drawings of the apartment interiors to give them an idea of how it would work.
So did he write the script for this movie as well as the novel then?
I don't know. I don't think so. Let me see if I can find out.
Because we know it's based on the novel by him.
It's not Ferris Saperstein. Like he's totally like poo-pooing on her concerns.
Yeah, Saperstein will give you a second opinion. If you want a second opinion, you go to Dr. Saperstein. Yeah, that makes sense.
Doctor, I want a second opinion. Okay, you're ugly too.
You're also lazy.
Finally, the pain stopped. Like the baby is like, uh-oh, looks like I got to stop this.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
There you go. So Saperstein was right.
That's what I was thinking too. It's like, she's starting to rebel. Maybe I better stop scratching her up in the.
Yeah. It's alive. Huh. It looks like scared. Yeah. It's alive. It's alive. It's year one.
Yeah.
Look at those vinyls just scattered on the floor outside of their sleeves. Oh, my
Wow.
God. He just stepped on it. He just stepped on the record.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Oh,
That's,
boy. That's why.
That's interesting. That's a little subtle thing showing how self-centered he is.
Oh, she's back to drinking that stupid drink.
Yeah. You know, now that the pain is gone, a lot of her rebelliousness is kind of left.
Yep.
She really
The baby is like, okay, I got enough misery, so now I'll just start growing.
She really just wants to give everybody around her the benefit of the doubt, but like the pain was so unbearable.
Yeah, and they took away the makeup or the sunken eyes. Now she's looking more glowy.
Yeah. Yeah. And she's got her hospital bag, and he's like, "What are you doing?"
Hey, better safe than sorry, right?
Yeah, like 3 weeks is a long time.
How was it like when Joel was about to be born? Did you? How was that day? Was it stressful, or did your wife check into the hospital and have the delivery there?
We actually, I mean, it's not like in the movies because they can induce birth now, so you can set an appointment. Like our doctor didn't even want to come in on the weekend, so we set an appointment for Joel to be born, and we went in the hospital, and the labor was short by comparison to what you hear from other people.
Yeah.
But it is really strange because the baby's born, you got like 2 or 3 days of nurses helping you take care of the baby, and then they're like, "Okay, time to check out," and you're like, "I'm not qualified to do this. You know, you can't send us home with this other person." That's the weirdest part about it is like all of a sudden you're just supposed to, now you're parents.
Yeah, I guess should have gotten the books.
Oh, we got lots of books.
There you go.
Yeah, no matter how much you read and watch movies and talk to other people, it's always you're just not ready, or you don't feel ready anyway, even if you are ready.
So Hutch died,
but before he died, he woke up and told the doctor, give this to Rosemary. Yeah. And the name is an anagram. That was the other thing he said.
Yeah, Hutch's friend.
Yeah, and it's actually not the name of the anagram of the book. It's the name of Mercado, or of the Castavets is like an anagram of Mercado. Somehow. Maybe I forget what their name is, the old couple. It's not Castavet, that's the name of the actor.
Yeah, Zoe Saldana plays Rosemary in the 2014 adaptation.
Oh.
Now I'm curious about that. Oh, she's so nosy.
Oh my God, I know. She really, really wants to know what this book is.
Oh, she was just finding out the name of the person who sent her the book so she can go kill her.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Can't wait to make her go blind or die.
All of them witches. Yep. This is when she's going to find out. And there's going to be a whole bunch of books in that closet too, right? Like witchcraft books, I think.
I don't think so. I think she goes and gets some from the library later.
Oh, yeah. The Devil's Pepper.
Yeah. That's what it was.
Adrian Marcado.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a Devil's Tongue Pepper.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
got 125,000 Scoville units.
Yeah.
There's a dude. He looks kind of satanic.
And that's Steve or whatever his name is, the old guy, the little kid there in that photo. So Adrian Marcato was his father.
Yeah, and he's Steve Marcato.
Yeah.
Roman Castevet.
Yeah.
Oh, she's getting a Scrabble.
Yeah. She's going to use it to make the letters. It's funny watching this. I think about, like, you know, being in my 40s. I wouldn't put that on the floor. I'd be putting it on the kitchen table.
Coven of Witches.
Yeah. Yeah, so at first she's trying to do the title of the book.
Comes with the fall. Oh, that's an interesting anagram.
Yeah. All of them witches. It's a weird title for a book.
I think it's describing that everybody in that book is supposed to be a witch. Elf shot lame witch. Ha, that's funny.
And she does one more where she still has the tea in her hand.
You know, my first two names, I could anagram them as Jason D'Amore.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because I guess it was around the time when I was reading Harry D'Amore.
All right.
Yeah. Do you ever try arranging your name in an anagram?
No, I've never done that.
That's a cool book. And the little kid over there is his son, Stephen.
Yeah.
Stephen Marcato. Oh, you hear the demonic choir. Oh, wow. She really went there.
Roman Castevet.
I mean, I would have, if it was me doing this scene, I probably would have her like work a little harder at finding out that the kid is like Roman Castevet.
Yeah.
It just kind of happens like, oh, Stephen Roman Castevet, like the first try.
Well, because she had already kind of figured it out, and then she was double checking with the letters.
How was the funeral? What kind of question is that?
I know. Oh, yeah. Oh, it was.
It was fun. Yeah,
it was great fun. There were clowns.
His face like, what? It's like, oh no, she's onto it.
Yeah. Yeah, and what he's projecting to her is like, oh no, more of your crazy crap.
Yeah. Same eyes. And guess what? I was looking around on Etsy. Nowadays, you can find Rosemary's Baby Tannis Root Charm Pendant Necklace in sterling silver.
Oh, God. Does it also smell bad?
No, it's just a silver thing. There's nothing inside. That's crazy. It's not even that cute of a necklace.
Yeah.
A witch? At least he doesn't say he doesn't believe her. He just says, oh, yeah, with a father like that, I'm sure he changed his name.
Yeah. I've never heard that word esbets before.
And also, the blood magic that she's talking about. You remember when after she went to the doctor and they found out she was pregnant, they asked her to come back for the nurse to draw more blood.
That's true, and that was the original doctor. That wasn't her new doctor. That was the first one, the one that's going to betray her.
Another way that this movie kind of makes her subservient or more like dependent on her husband, which takes away her agency, like you were saying, because now she can't even make any decisions. Like she wanted to go to the doctor, another doctor, and he says, and she says, if you don't pay for it, because she's dependent on her husband to make any decisions like this.
Yeah, and he throws her book in the garbage.
Yeah. She's telling all of this to Saperstein, who's in with the Marcatos.
I know.
Minnie and Roman's problem?
Yeah, I think that's probably a lie.
A lie, yeah.
Yeah.
Just to get her to feel sympathy for him. That's a doctor with a lot of influence on his patients. It's like, oh, she found out. Time to play it low.
Yeah. I wonder if their suitcases are all empty.
Probably are. Oh. Whatever you say about Stephen Marcato, he's kind of snazzy. His wife wears a lot of makeup, though. Yeah, her husband knows they're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, remember Pan America?
Yeah.
I don't even know when that airline disappeared.
I don't remember.
Maybe like the 80s or something.
Yeah.
90s.
There used to be so many airlines.
It's like, where's my book? I put it in the garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just treating her like property.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. When they did this scene, they actually, the director, Roman Polanski, just told her to cross the street. And some of the people standing there looking, they're actually like just random people that were walking around.
Oh, wow.
So it comes to, the cars were actually just drivers in that street. I don't think this is one of those like super controlled environments where you guys get like 20 drivers to drive around in loops around the block. I think those were just, he just told her, walk across the street. Nobody's going to hit a pregnant woman. And she just did that like 3 times.
Oh my God. Yeah. Nowadays they would have controlled everything on the set.
Yeah. Oh, see the actor who got blind?
Yeah.
The mental force of the coven could blind, deafen, or kill people. Ah. Wait, who is Baumgart?
The actor that got blinded.
Oh, yeah. Wow. He's a very bitter actor.
Yeah.
He never came to visit me. Oh, he had his tie. They traded ties.
Yeah.
She was just seeing if he would admit to something being traded. Oh, hey, kitty. Anyway.
Wow.
Oh. And here I am watching Rosemary's Baby with a black cat on my lap.
Yeah.
What was the name of the black cat in like Sabrina? Salem?
Salem, yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Oh, she's going to try to leave him.
Yep. Now her pregnancy bag is also her escape bag.
Hey. I think this is going to be the first scene she shot for the movie when she goes down to the phone booth. And then she thinks Dr. Saperstein is outside of the booth, but it's just a random guy.
Yeah.
I wonder if she's there to see Hill or Saperstein. I forgot this
Hill.
part. Yeah. Man, 99 pounds. That's very skinny. Yeah, it's amazing that you can find anything on Etsy, including the Rosemary's Baby pendant.
Yeah. There's a necklace, the King Diamond, the Eye necklace that I want to get someday. You can find it on Etsy.
Cool.
It looks like the torso of a demon, and then the lower half of it is a big eyeball.
What do you call that necklace?
The Eye.
The Eye of what?
It's just called the Eye. King Diamond's the Eye.
Diamond. Okay.
Yeah.
Does King Diamond wear a copy of that?
Yeah, he has. I mean, I don't think he always does. But
I see it.
Yeah.
That's cool.
If you look in the eye, it'll take you back in time.
It's got like an eye, and then there's a torso of a demon with his wings spread open.
Yeah, that's it.
I don't know, Ryan. This looks like a Satanist thing to me.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got the devil's pepper smell. Wait, did she find out that Dr. Hill is also with the coven? Oh, no, wait, no, she's at Saperstein's office. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, so she's just now learning that Saperstein is part of the coven. That's
sure.
what it was. Okay. Yeah, I missed that.
Because it smells the same as the Tannis root. So this part here, this is a fake phone booth.
So
she's gonna, yeah.
So this is the first scene that she shot, you said.
Yeah. That's what Mia Farrow said that in that video that I'm adding to the show notes. And then the guy who comes outside of the phone booth, she thinks it's Dr. Saperstein, but it's not. It's actually a different man. And it turns out it's William Castle himself with his cigar.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Bill Castle.
I remember when we talked about this movie before, in 2018, I think it was. We were all kind of debating, like David Sharp was in the episode with us, and we were all kind of debating about whether Dr. Hill was in on the conspiracy, or is he just a jerk that was trying to send this hysterical lady back to her husband.
Oh yeah, definitely part of the coven. I mean, wasn't he at the parties with the other people?
I don't think so.
Yeah, he was in when they were at the party a little while ago in the movie. Saperstein was there.
I said Dr. Hill.
Oh, Dr. Hill. No, okay, gotcha. Sorry. Maybe Saperstein had already talked to Hill and said, "Hey, this lady's kind of like freaking out. So, if she calls you, let me know."
Yeah, keep her there as long as you can and call me right away.
Yeah. So at this time before the movie, I think that Mia Farrow was known for a TV series called Peyton Place.
Oh.
And I don't think she was the first choice from Polanski for Rosemary. I think his first choice was like an actress called Tuesday Weld.
Oh.
Who had been in a movie called The Cincinnati Kid. And then the producer, Robert Evans and Castle, had a different idea to get Mia Farrow. There's a plot. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah. Oh, did you know that Stephen King is making a sequel to Cujo?
No way.
Yeah, so I dragged out that old comment that we found where that guy goes, "Write the sequel to Cujo."
Yeah. And there's the guy standing outside of the booth.
Yeah, he does kind of look like Dr. Saperstein from the back.
It's like, "I'm going to take a nap." And she's like, "Oh no, it's Saperstein. They found me."
Yeah.
Oh my God, the music.
Yeah.
It's like, what do you call that instrument that you play with your hands? "Hey, I'm Bill Castle, big time movie producer. You ever see The Tingler?"
Yeah. That's on our list. We're going to be watching The Tingler.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I don't think I've ever seen The Tingler.
X is for exploitation. I've never seen it either.
Yeah, the next letter is going to be V for vice versa. So it's going to be Clive talking about his own movies.
Yeah, so we're skipping that one. Since we
already did.
We've done audio commentaries for every Clive movie, even like the most obscure things that you could imagine.
Yeah.
I like that handle he's got for closing the door from the front seat.
Oh, this is the part she's talking about the pajama thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't believe the doctor. This does seem unhinged.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's what the debate is, right? Is like, so when he betrays her and he calls the husband and the doctor in to take her away, is it because he thinks she's just some hysterical lady, or is it because he's in the cult with him?
Yeah. I think he's probably not involved. Just the way he's looking at her and just the way he looks so normal. I don't know.
Is it James Grodin?
Yeah, he's in the movie. Yep. James Grodin. Yep.
He looks pretty young.
It's like, may I keep this? Why? Why do you want the book?
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I'm going to take all your stuff and then I'm going to send you away to your cult.
Apparently, Cassavetes, the guy who plays her husband, and Polanski clashed a lot during production.
Oh, really?
So I think Cassavetes wanted to improvise a lot in the scenes. He wanted to have room to improvise stuff. And Polanski was the kind of guy who was like, if he didn't put the glass down on the table the way he asked him to, he would just flip his lid. So,
Oh, wow.
that's two very different styles of art direction. I mean, acting direction. And here we go. He's gonna just send her right back to her husband. Oh, now here's Abraham Saperstein.
That mustache is terrible.
Yeah. I think he's just humoring her. You know what? I'm starting to get the same vibe that you do. Maybe he's involved in this as well.
Yeah, which makes you think, like, is everybody in the whole world in this cult except for her?
Yeah.
Well, all of her friends from the dinner party, right? None of them were in it, but...
He's just humoring her so he can call the people.
Yeah. Yeah, why don't you just take a nap right here?
I think as soon as she said Abraham Saperstein, that's when his mood completely changed.
Yeah.
There were like ideas of like witches and stuff in New York. I've heard something some time ago about not necessarily witches, but like occult people that had these groups, like these famous people that had these like kind of little get-togethers and stuff. Yeah.
It seems like there's this kind of bled all the way into the satanic panic in the 80s, right? This idea that there were these secret Satanists that run everything, and that explains why the world is a terrible place.
And then there's stuff like American TV stuff, daytime TV, where they would pretend like this guy was a Satanist and they would bring him on to the set and they would just say, yeah, we do things with blood and babies. And it turns out that years later you find out that was all completely fake. It was just for the show.
Yeah.
Like there was this one guy called Dark Lord Blood that went to daytime TV and pretended to be a Satanist. And then a couple of years ago, I saw an interview with someone who was trying to find out who was Dark Lord Blood, and they found him and they interviewed him living in a suburb. He's like, yeah, that was just the producer of the show told me. Just, can you go in there and put like a hood and some sunglasses and pretend like you're a Satanist? And so I did.
Wow.
But back then, TV was this thing where it's like you have to make it interesting. Wow, Dr. Saperstein is being a total jerk.
Yeah. Yeah, he's going to grab her by the wrist and just drag her out the door. And he puts the pills in his pocket because he doesn't want any evidence of what, the pills are.
Yeah.
Left out in the world.
And the way he's grabbing her arm.
Ugh.
Yeah, the way the Dr. Hill calls Dr. Saperstein sir kind of feels like he's a
Yeah.
subservient, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's not clear, so you could go either way with it, but I kind of get the feeling.
And there's Dr. Shand,
Yeah.
Evo Shandor. Dr. Shand, who likes to play the recorder. I think at this point the pretense is down. I mean, they're just not even talking to her, not even looking at her. They're just carrying her around like she's a walking uterus.
Yeah. Yeah, but well, I think the pretense is that you're acting crazy and we're gonna sedate you and so that you can, because we're just protecting your baby.
Yeah. Oh. She's going to get in the elevator herself, lock herself in the house.
Yeah.
You don't know how to operate that elevator, lady.
Yeah.
Takes a specialized technician to do that.
Well, it actually is a lot more difficult than a regular elevator than the ones we have. She's got to stop. She's got to know when to pull the lever to make it stop at the exact right spot.
Otherwise, the door won't open, right?
No, it does. Watch, she's going to fall out of the elevator here. Yeah.
Whoa, there we go. Uh-oh, here we go. Cue the crazy, wacky jazz music.
Yeah.
Soundtrack's pretty good, too.
It is.
I think they're using the psychic power on her.
Oh.
It's like they got Zoot from the Muppets to play.
Yeah.
There we go. Right in the nick of time.
Yeah.
Oh, he's really forcing it.
Oh, because he has a key. That's right. Because, he just turned the lock and opened the deadbolt.
Yeah, lock it, baby. There we go. I thought she had locked it.
Yeah,
he's got a key, right? So.
Well, but it's confusing because now he doesn't go through that door.
Well, they got a little back door in the closet, right? That's why the old lady who died had put the closet on top of it.
There's this kind of creepy scene coming up here where she has her back turned and you see these people sneaking past her.
Yeah.
Yeah, right here, I think, coming up.
She's trying to talk to her friend, right? Oh, there they are, tiptoeing.
Yeah.
That's so cartoony.
Yeah.
Like they're tiptoeing on the tips of their feet. Jesus, look at all the people.
Like, wait, you're our friends? Who are you? I've never even met you before.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Like, why do they bring all those people in?
Yeah.
Dang. Yeah, Gagger.
Oh, my God.
Jesus. Oh, he's checking to see if the baby's alive. Oh, it's starting.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess because this is a movie in the 60s, he can tell that she's in labor by feeling her stomach instead of, putting her feet in stirrups.
It's the mystical powers, Ryan. He's feeling the evil, or the contractions or whatever. I don't really like the ending of this movie, and I'll explain why when we get to it. This is where they tell her the baby's dead and they cremated it.
Well, it's weird because at first now he's about to tell her that the baby's fine.
Yeah.
Like either he's not in on it or he's just he's doing a lie within a lie.
Yeah. He's just telling her what she wants to hear.
Yeah.
What is it? We don't know. So, yeah, like the dream sequences and stuff. I guess this was, part of the time in America where it was kind of the drug thing was going on, the acid thing, LSD. Yeah. Whoa. These people are so cartoony. It's like patting her on the head.
Yeah. Eesh. It's funny, these rich movie stars, and they use cinder blocks for making their bookshelves.
This is where the bad news come in. Oh, he's putting the guilt on her now.
Yeah, she said she wanted to be in a hospital, and they dragged her here.
Yeah.
And now they're flipping it around and making it sound like it was her idea.
The thing is, she was completely correct.
Yeah. Yeah, and they treat her like she's crazy.
Yeah. Prepartum. Now they're telling her she's hysterical.
Yeah. God, what a jerk.
And he's smoking. You had the prepartum crazies. That just sounds so misogynistic.
Yeah, I know, and I've heard of postpartum depression.
Yeah.
Prepartum, I don't think that's a real thing.
And he's not even talking about the dead son. He's talking about like his career and Universal and Paramount.
Yeah.
And I know this is the worst thing that happened to you. What about you?
Yeah. Let's just glide right past this. And
I got to run now and get famous.
Oh my God.
At this point, it's like, let me see your shoulder.
Yeah, so they never go back to this. I think that's there's a lot of loose ends in this movie that you just have to kind of work out yourself.
Guess, like he doesn't really turn around all that much.
Yeah.
Huh. They marked him on his left butt cheek.
Yeah, or under his foot or something.
I can imagine that New York being such a city covered with concrete, it gets really hot in the summer.
Yeah. Well, probably not like Arizona.
Look at the size of that remote control. Did you see the size of that remote control?
Yeah.
It was a brick.
Yeah, we've had one like that before.
When people called it the clicker.
Yeah. Yeah, and it would have like the digits on the for the channels were all punch buttons.
In the sense that you actually had to punch it.
Yeah. Yeah, you push it in and it kind of sticks in.
Like, why have all these people moved into her house?
Yeah.
Right? It's like so weird that they're all here.
And she just is, being sedated and forced to accept all this nonsense.
Yeah. She's throwing the pill away.
Yeah.
Yeah, those cinder blocks are not a good decor.
Yeah. They painted him white, I guess.
Yeah, like they're pumping her milk.
Yeah.
And they're saying that they throw the milk away, but, they keep the baby in the next house. Heh, 95 amateurs. I've been in Arizona. We get like 110, 120. And she's going to throw something.
She puts the spoon into the milk.
Yeah. Yeah, because they want to use the milk.
Yeah.
She's like, "Oh, you sons of bitches."
Yeah, that lady is the one who's being the surrogate mother.
Yeah. I can see why Clive would like this movie, and why he almost remade the movie with Del Toro, right? I mean, with that Bourne movie.
Yeah.
The acclamation studio guy who would be living in England with his wife and
yeah, it's interesting they said based on a story by Clive Barker. It's like, wait, what?
Yeah, hey, Phil and Sarah, if you're listening, is Bourne going to be in Fear Eternal?
Oh man, yeah,
that'd be cool.
I'm so excited now that they said that one is going to be in there. That makes me think Coming to Grief, Animal Life, Hermione and the Moon, all of those rare stories that you only find in anthologies. Maybe.
Well, definitely, I think. The one with Harry D'Amour. It's really important for that to be out in the book.
Lost Souls.
Lost Souls. Yeah.
Lost Souls.
I know it's not a hard story to find online, but still, it should be in book form. That'd be great.
And there's that Quiddity story, On Amon's Shore.
Yes, which is really good too. If you're a Great and Secret Show fan.
Yeah. Man, now I'm really excited for that book. Sorry, we kind of digressed. So she's in the closet, looking through the keyhole of the door that leads to the Mercado apartment.
I'm surprised that she never noticed that there was a keyhole in there.
I think, did she peel the wallpaper back? I think.
That's it. Okay, yeah.
And somebody was just looking in at her. Oh, it's her husband.
And she's got the kitchen knife thing.
Yeah, because they're having the party up there with the baby without her.
In the book A through Z of Horror, it says, in the past, over a third of women died in hospital in vain attempts to give birth.
Wow.
So that was kind of a scary thing.
Yeah.
It's scary to get pregnant. It was scary to give birth.
Yeah.
I know one of my great-grandmothers died out of a hemorrhage after giving birth. She didn't want to go to the hospital, and she just bled to death.
Oh.
But we're talking 1800s, too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. See the burning city?
Yeah. It's kind of a cool painting.
It is. It's like a cathedral on fire.
Yeah.
There's another painting there with, it looks like witches and demons.
Yeah.
That's why the Marcatos had missing spots on the walls.
Yeah. They didn't want to scare them off.
Oh boy, here we go.
It's funny, everybody else just looks at her like, "Oh, hey, how's it going?" But then that one crazy lady with the squinty eyes sees her and screams.
Yeah. She's got a knife. And there's the husband. He was in on it.
Yeah, you're in Dubrovnik.
And the black draped crib.
Yeah, with the
and there's
upside
Adrian
down cross
Marcato
hanging off the top of it.
Yeah, and one of them has a black cat. Oh my god,
Yeah.
Black cats are not evil. Come on, black cats are good luck. Kitty. No,
Where was
my
that?
kitty's
I just
looking
had
at.
heard that somewhere else black cats were considered to be good luck. Oh,
I just think having a cat is good luck. Period.
Oh, it was a preview for. We were watching a show on Apple TV, and there was a preview for some cartoon movie called Luck, and it was a black cat and was narrating it. And he said in Egypt or somewhere that they were good luck. Yeah, so no, she just looked at the baby.
Satan. And his name is Adrian.
Which was coincidentally also my father's name.
Oh my God. Her husband is like so embarrassed.
Yeah.
Cuckolded by the demon.
Yeah.
Even the Japanese dude is like, hail Satan.
Yeah. He was such a that character is such a stereotype with his camera.
Look at his hands and his feet. What? Does he have like goat's feet or something?
Yeah, I guess that's what they're implying. The year is one.
It's like you messed up my floor.
Yeah. I know, I thought when she came in there with that knife, she was at least going to get one person, like maybe her husband.
I was hoping she would like stab like this dude in the shoulder or something.
Yeah. Or stab. I wanted her to kill her husband or maybe that lady that's, wants to be the mother.
Yeah. He's like, hey, look at me. I'm Japanese and I got a picture.
I know.
It says,
I mean,
what is the deal with that stereotype?
Yeah. Well, because Japanese tourists in America were always had cameras. Because it's because culturally they would save up for one vacation for a lifetime.
And I think also
and so they
Japanese
take
cameras, right?
Yeah.
Like Minolta and whatever. Nikon is Japanese, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like the ending of this because she kind of gives into it after all of this stuff, after all she's been through.
Well, the whole thing was her wanting to, protect her baby and run off with her baby, and she thought they were stealing the baby to sacrifice it in their rituals. And now she's figured out that, oh wait, no, it's the devil's son, and they want to protect it too. And so she's getting mixed feelings because it's still her baby.
It's like, is this Tannisford? No, it's Lipton tea.
Yeah. Wait, she doesn't know. I mean, it could be poison.
I mean, yeah, it could have been. But, at that time, it's like they made it so that nobody would ever believe her,
Yeah.
Because they have doctors testifying that she had like some sort of prepartum thing and all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, she's in a tough spot. And they've got her baby hostage, which the baby is horrible looking, but she's still the mother.
Like he's really like the satanic cardinal of this congregation.
Yeah.
Oh, she stuck her tongue at her.
Yeah.
She's so cartoony,
I
like
know.
Laura Louise.
Yeah. Yeah. Now I'm curious how the TV series went. What it was like.
Yeah, me too. I might look into that with Zoe Saldana.
TV miniseries are hard to find on streaming. I tried to find because of listening to Mick Garris's podcast. I tried to find The Shining, and I tried to find The Stand, and you can't get them anywhere. I guess you could probably get DVDs.
I guess it's because nowadays, some of those are like streaming platforms tend to make their own TV shows now, so they push those more.
Yeah.
So they're not as interested in carrying other shows.
Yeah. Right, and
except if they're really, really big.
It would be nice if there weren't like, well, you have we'll sell you the rights to run this for this amount of time. It would be nice if a place like Netflix or somebody was an archive where they had everything for all time. But it's not like that at all. People think like, oh, I'll just give up all my DVDs and Blu-rays and whatever, and you can watch anything online, but you can't.
And here's the Dakota building.
Oh.
Yeah. Architect was Ivo Shandor.
Oh, right. From Ghostbusters.
Well, why does New York have such creepy buildings, right?
Yeah. Yeah. These credits are going to be short. Poor Hutch.
Right. I know. Yeah, it's I think
I agree. It's a disappointing ending because she got painted into such a corner that she had nowhere to go.
Yeah, I think I read that the book ending is like there's one more scene where she's walking the pram outside in New York and someone walks by and says, "Oh, is that your baby?" And she says, "Yes, it's perfect." And that's kind of a little disappointing.
And that's the end of the credits.
William Castle received up to 50 abusive letters a day following the release of Rosemary's Baby.
From like Christians or
Christians,
something?
Yeah. In his autobiography, Step Right Up, I'm going to scare the pants off America. He got a letter saying, "You've unleashed evil on the world," and threats that Rosemary's Baby is filth and you will die as a result.
Jeez.
People were calling him bastard, believer of witchcraft, worshiper at the shrine of Satanism. My prediction is you will slowly rot during a long and painful illness which you have brought upon yourself. Like, damn, people.
Yeah, jeez. Well, and it's like The Exorcist, too. I mean, they're not saying that these demons are good guys. I don't get it.
And you know what's the kicker? On October 31st, so Halloween, Castle was preparing to fly to New York to discuss producing Neil Simon's The Out-of-Towners when he collapsed. A spinal tap was required to remove a blockage in his urinary tract, but the condition recurred several times over the next few months, and legend has it, during one emergency admission, Castle yelled out, "Rosemary, for God's sake, drop the knife."
Oh.
Yes.
Weird.
I got this off of one of these websites. Thinking Film. I'm going to put this one in the show notes as well.
Huh.
It's an interesting article here. Well, that's it. What are we doing next?
Up next, we're going to be, we'll be returning to Jericho Squad, but that'll probably be later in June. Our next A to Z commentary will be W for Window and Masque of the Red Death, because W for Window is about Edgar Allan Poe. And we'll have more news and interviews, and we're going to get into our episodes with our Kickstarter backers, which I'm excited about.
Absolutely, yeah.
So I'd like to start planning some of those this weekend. We can, start the messages up again.
Sure, that sounds great. Let's do that. All right. Well, this was Rosemary's Baby. Don't summon any demons. And thanks for joining us for this commentary track. I hope you guys had a fun time.
And this commentary track, having no beginning, will have no end. Thank you for joining us, and we hope you have subscribed. You can find the Clive Barker podcast wherever you find audio. Show notes for this episode, as well as news and reviews, can be found at our website at www.clivebarkercast.com. The Clive Barker Podcast, or BarkerCast, is an independent editorial podcast and blog that is not affiliated with or under contract by Clive Barker or Seraphim Inc. This is a labor of love by the fans for the fans. Watch for our annual Kickstarter fundraisers to get some cool stuff, and you can buy t-shirts on our TeePublic store. Go to teepublic.com and search for BarkerCast.
Thanks for listening.